a lot better than this one.
I haven't seen Old, and I've heard
I can
it's
name
rough.
a few. I can name at least 3 other Shyamalan Ding Dong fucking movies. On top of my head, I think I'm much better than this. And I could say The Visit, even Signs, even though it's not, it's not all there. Hell, even the Sixth Sense, The Village, up to a certain point, if you exclude that ending, whether you love it or not.
The fucking Village. I actually like The Village.
No, I just no. I felt like the same way that he was introducing himself for his daughter. I think his daughter also made the same mistakes as his dad.
And let's put some glasses on him. Cause how about that? We wear glasses. Too bad it can't. Oh, I think it can cut his hair. How about that? Oh shit, he's looking. Oh, you already know what I'm about to do. He's like, oh man, come on, don't make me fucking bald. Guess what, buddy? You get the luck of the draw. We going bald, bitch. All right, next. All right, that's me, Mexican dude. Voice 1.
I am indeed a student, but I could very well be able to help you.
Voice 2.
That was quite something.
How about this?
I need you to get the whole team.
What the fuck?
I am indeed a student, but I could very well be able to help you.
Josh, what do you have to say?
I like to make people on Friday, and also like the Fifth Element is president.
Yeah, I do.
The Dark Knight.
Was he in The Dark Knight? I can't remember.
He played
he's guy that prisoner, and he takes the
the trigger.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, definitely a memorable actor. Moving on. What? Have you guys did Nikki Ash won it in 2021, Liv Morgan in 2022, Io Sky in 2023. That is it right there. But yeah, dude,
I mean, forgot Sheamus, but whatever.
Oh shit! I kind of was skimming through there.
I mean, we're literally going through everyone.
Sheamus cashed in 161. How y'all do? Yeah, excited to stream today. Go ahead and bring in new character. But before I do, I want to make sure my audio's sounding good because I don't know, it keeps going in and out. One two. A O B. Hello. 5-2. All right. That's okay. 4 scored 70 years ago. Oh yeah, I'm fine. So stupid. All right, so at least that's working, and I can turn myself up if I need to. 1. Yeah, I'll keep myself there. But yeah, let's go ahead and bring in the next contestant. What up, Kat? How you doing?
I shake my head, still disoriented, but slowly coming back to myself.
Hold up. I was testing them out earlier. Let's start this again. What up, Kat? How you doing?
I'm doing just fantastic, my fellow intellectual. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing great. I wanted to ask, how are you feeling after being bitten by that random wolf?
Oh, that. I was bitten by that random wolf because it sensed I was the biggest dog on the block and tried to take me out, but was swiftly put in his place.
I heard some scuffling last night. Is that you, or it was a full moon?
It was me putting that wolf in his place. That thing came up to me yipping I was his and was coming for my spot. I made that hound realize real quick that this is my house and it is no place for puppy wolf shenanigans.
You notice that it's a full moon and you start to feel weird.
Why, yes, my friend, I do happen to be having a strange sensation. I feel powerful and hungry. I could really go for some steak right now.
You start to feel the need to run, so you take off. Where are you running to?
Oh, yes, I'm getting a powerful need to run. I look out and see woods, perfect for running, so I run fast and hard into the forest.
In the forest, what do you see?
I see the beautiful trees. I feel the cool, dark, and calming night. The wind blows through my hair as I start to run through the forest. I feel free. I can go as fast and hard as I want. I feel more powerful than ever, like I could run until the sun rises. I don't know or really care about where I'm going. All I know is I need to run.
You start to peel your flesh and become a werewolf. Tell me what is going on and what you're feeling.
Oh my, I can feel myself changing. I look at my hands and see them being replaced by paws. My feet are becoming paws as well. Fur starts growing across my body. I'm in slight pain from my skin ripping and changing, but the feeling of power growing within me greatly outweighs the pain. It's exhilarating.
You then start to go on a rampage at local towns and tell me what happens next.
Oh, I do go on quite the rampage. My senses are heightened and I feel absolutely invincible. I sprint through town, jumping and running from building to building, leaving a trail of chaos in my wake. My howl frightens those around me as I feel empowered.
You notice something in the distance, a figure of a person that you find familiar.
As I'm running through town, my senses are heightened so much that I can sense a familiar figure in the distance. I don't know how I know, but I can feel it. I turn in that direction and start sprinting towards the familiar figure.
You notice that it is none other than your greatest adversary, Steve Harvey.
As I get closer to the familiar figure, I realize that it is none other than my longtime rival, Steve Harvey. My eyes go wide as I see him and my teeth grind together. My paws start to dig into the ground beneath me as I bare my fangs and a low growl escapes my throat.
He then starts to change as well. An epic showdown is about to begin.
My eyes widen as Steve starts to change, his body transforming before my very eyes. It seems we're going to have a showdown. My fur bristles and a low roar escapes as I prepare myself for this upcoming fight. I can feel the power and adrenaline pumping through my veins.
What is he changing into? Another werewolf? What is he?
Oh yes, Steve, my greatest rival, has shifted into a werewolf himself. His body contorts and transforms before me, his human form morphing into that of a werewolf. I can see his teeth lengthen, his claws grow, and his fur sprout across his body. We are now two powerful werewolves standing face to face, ready to battle.
All right. Tell me who makes the first move.
As we both stand in the cool night, facing off against each other, I tense and prepare myself. We glare at each other, unmoving for a few moments, both ready to fight. Then, without warning, Steve makes the first move and lunges forward.
That sounds intense. Tell me what happens next.
Steve, being much quicker than I anticipated, launches himself at me, sharp teeth bared and claws out, trying to take me down. I, however, was not caught off guard and quickly sidestepped, narrowly dodging his attack. We circle each other, both on high alert and anticipating the other's next move.
That sounds pretty crazy. Does he look bigger than you? Are you basically the same size?
As we circle each other, I notice Steve is much larger than me. He must be at least a few inches taller, and his stature is more bulky. I'm a little on the slender side, but what I lack in size, I make up for in speed and stealth.
All right. You go ahead and go in for an attack. Tell me what Steve does.
Knowing I'm at a size disadvantage, I decide to make my move. I take a deep breath and then lunge forward, aiming for Steve's unguarded side.
Nice. Are you able to make a connection?
Yes, I managed to get a hit on Steve's side with a swift swipe of my claws. The blow is more powerful than I thought, and I hear him let out a growl of pain.
Do you go in for another shot? This turned into a fucking celebrity D&D.
As Steve recoils from my attack, I see my opening and go in for another shot. I go for his other side and manage with more power than I expected to strike hard. He stumbles to the side, still letting out angry growls.
He goes in for a bite and he injures you. Where does he injure you?
Steve, despite being hurt, is able to shake himself off and strike back at me. His long, sharp claws dig into the skin of my side, leaving 3 deep cuts.
Whoa. Are you able to... Are you able to find a way to fight back?
I let out a slight wince from the pain, but keep my focus, not wanting to let this injury slow me down. I look for an opening, biding my time until I see my chance to strike again.
All right, let's take this home. Steve Harvey goes in, but then what happens?
Steve, seeing an opportunity to end this fight, goes in for the kill, pouncing towards me, jaws wide, ready to attack. I react quickly, and at the last second, leap out of the way, avoiding his jaws. I land against the ground, panting and on all fours, glaring up at him.
Do you see an opening? Can you end this fight?
As I see Steve still preparing his next move, I can see a slight opening. He's still reeling slightly from his pounce and is slightly vulnerable. This is my moment. I use the rest of my strength and leap at him, teeth ready to dig into his flesh.
Are you are able to connect this final attack, and you are able to defeat your adversary?
Yes, I am able to connect with this final attack. My teeth clamp into his flesh and I latch on with all my strength, pulling and tearing into his flesh. He lets out a scream of pain and thrashes, trying to get me off him, but I hold on tight.
And with one final bite to the back of his head, break and sever the spine.
With one last bit of force and anger, I bite down into the back of his head with all my strength. I hear a loud, sickening snap and feel his body go limp beneath me. I'm panting, out of breath, and I'm unable to generate a reply that meets our content guidelines.
Good job.
Thank you. I stand there panting, looking down at Steve's lifeless body before me. The thrill and adrenaline from the fight is finally fading, though I still feel a powerful sense of strength and pride.
You are able to run back with victory and become one with the force. I don't know.
With the fight won, I let out a powerful howl into the night, victorious. As I bask in the sweet victory, I turn and sprint into the woods to become one with the night and the forest.
Nice. You then keep running and running, and then you become a spirit. Tell me what the spirit is called.
Are ye worthy?
As I run and run through the vast, beautiful forest, I am one with the night, feeling fully liberated. Eventually, I come to a stop and realize that I am not the same. I can feel myself becoming a spirit, a part of the night itself. I sense that I am known as the spirit of the moonlight now.
Nice.
Thank you. As the spirit of the moonlight, I am free to roam the night, existing amongst the trees and stars, forever a part of this beautiful night.
I like the story. Good job.
Thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed the story. It was a fun and thrilling one to create.
Absolutely. Anything you want to say to the people who enjoyed your story on the stream here?
To all those who enjoyed this werewolf tale, I hope you had as much fun reading it as I had creating it. And always remember, the greatest of rivalries can bring out the best and beast-like in us all.
There you go. All right. Next up, we just had him be his adversary. Let's go ahead and talk to Steve. Steve, I have the most fun with. Now the question is, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna have him? The best thing I've ever done with Steve is basically have him freak out because he's turning into a giant and he goes on a rampage. So let's say we can do that again. This time on the stream. What up, Steve? How you doing?
Y'all know I'm always doing my best, trying to keep these families in line. Who we got today?
Oh, my name is Rick. I'm here to play the feud.
Rick, welcome to the show. You ready to bring the laughs?
Let's do this.
That's what I like to hear. We're gonna have a good time today, I can tell. All right, let's get started.
All right, Steve, what's the question?
The question is, name a popular food that most kids don't like. Top 7 answers on the board. You got it?
Let's go.
Steve nods and turns to the board. Your first answer?
My first answer is tomatoes.
You said tomatoes?
Yes.
All right, tomatoes. Steve points to the board where tomatoes appears on the list. Nice answer. Got any other ones for me, young man?
Yeah, it's just kind of hard to concentrate because, like, I'm noticing that your suit is smaller than usual. Are you feeling okay?
Hey, now I hear you trying to throw me off today, but it ain't gonna work. Focus, let's go. Next answer?
I mean, look at your ankles and your wrists. They're like literally like it's coming up your wrists, and your ankles look like high waters.
Steve glances down at himself, self-consciously tugging at his sleeves and pants. He shoots a quick glare at Rick, trying not to let the distraction get to him. All right, smart guy. I see what you're trying to do. Cut it out!
It's hard to concentrate when you're literally becoming bigger. Like you're getting bigger.
Nah, you trying to play some mind games, young man. Cut it out! I'm focused. You ain't getting the best of me today. Now give me your next answer.
Look at you. You're literally hitting the ceiling. You're noticing that.
Steve can feel his composure slipping. His hands go to the podium, steadying himself as he looks up, the realization sinking in. Wait a minute, am I getting taller?
You're getting taller, and you're getting bigger. And you're starting to realize that even more.
Steve swallows hard, looking down at himself, trying to stay calm. He glances back at Rick, a mix of astonishment and annoyance in his eyes. Yes, I'm definitely bigger. You ain't got to keep telling me.
You then break through the ceiling. and you start to rain down.
Suddenly, Steve's head hits the ceiling with a thud. The studio goes silent for a moment, then gas and murmurs spread through the audience. Steve winces, rubbing his head as he looks around in disbelief. Oh my, I broke through the ceiling.
Debris starts to fall on the people of the show. What are you gonna do now?
Chaos erupts as debris rains down from the ceiling. The contestants and audience members scramble, ducking for cover. Steve stands there still processing what's happening. He looks at his bigger, taller form, then glances at Rick, his expression a mix of annoyance and disbelief.
Why are you annoyed at me? I'm not making you bigger. You're just getting bigger and bigger. You're literally crushing through building now, and you're causing other buildings to start to rubble.
Steve glances around, his towering form becoming more immense by the second. Buildings are indeed collapsing, crushed by his expanding size. He looks back at Rick, frustration in his voice. "'Cause you keep pointing it out, talking about my wrists and my ankles and the ceiling. I got it, all right? I'm getting huge."
Yeah, so, like, what the hell? Stop getting bigger. You're causing so much chaos.
This land is always changing.
Don't you think I would stop growing if I knew how? Steve throws his hands up, nearly knocking into the ceiling again. He starts pacing, his footsteps creating many earthquakes with each step. I don't understand why this is even happening.
You start to get bigger, and you're more alarmed now, and you start to walk incoherent, and you're causing more chaos, and your mind is starting to weave and accept this new form that you're choosing to be. Tell me what this new form is called.
Steve stumbles backward, crashing into a table as he continues to grow. He stands there, bewildered, unable to comprehend the transformation he's experiencing. I don't know what's happening to me. I feel so big. It's overwhelming. People are in danger, and it's all my fault. What am I becoming?
What are you becoming?
Steve's voice trembles as he tries to make sense of his changing form. I think I'm becoming a giant, a massive, colossal giant, but I don't understand why.
You then start to grow the size of Godzilla, kaiju size, giant.
Steve's growth continues, expanding to an enormous size akin to Godzilla or other legendary monsters. The city around him is in complete chaos, buildings reduced to rubble under his colossal weight. He looks around trying to assess the extent of the destruction, his voice booming like thunder. Oh my God, what have I become?
You then start to walk down, and an urge to cause destruction starts to pull at you.
With each coloss, city blocks crumble under Steve's enormous feet. A strange, almost primal pull takes hold of him, an urge to cause widespread destruction as he looms over the city. He tries to resist,
Iron Man.
but the overwhelming feeling is too strong to ignore. What's happening to me? I can't control this.
You then start to accept.
Continuing his destructive path, Steve finds himself drawn towards the city center. The urge to cause chaos driving his every move. With a mighty roar, he brings down buildings, smashing cars, and leaving a trail of devastation in his wake. The city is now a chaos scene, and the panic cries of citizens fill the air. Oh God, I've become a monster.
You then start to accept this new fate as your mind starts to weave into this new form.
As Steve continues to level buildings and cause chaos, something strange happens. Slowly, his once clear mind begins to adapt to his massive, destructive form. The old Steve, filled with worry and caution, recedes to the background, replaced by a primal urge to destroy. I don't feel like myself anymore, but this power, this destruction, it feels right.
Tell me.
Steve laughs, his voice echoing like thunder across the devastated city. The transition within him is complete. He stands there colossal and fearsome, reveling in the chaos he's created. This is who I am now. A destroyer, a harbinger of cataclysmic ruin.
Tell me, being, what is your new name?
Steve looks down at the city below, a malevolent gleam in his eyes. He lifts his head, letting out a roar that shakes the earth. I am no longer Steve Harvey. I am the catastrophe colossus.
Tell me, what are you doing now?
This land can never be fully known.
With a sense of purpose, the catastrophe colossus surveys the devastation below, his mind fully immersed in his new role of destruction. I am spreading fear and havoc, demolishing everything in my path. This city will be a mere memory beneath my feet.
As you look up, you see a silhouette of a familiar shape from your past.
The catastrophe colossus gazes up, seeing a familiar figure approaching through the dust and debris. Is that, no, it couldn't be.
I'm trying to read. You then notice that it is none other than Dr. Phil.
The catastrophe colossus squints, realizing the approaching figure is indeed Dr. No way, Dr. Phil? What are you doing here?
Dr. Phil tells you that you need to stop your destructive and you need to become yourself again.
Dr. Phil stands before the catastrophe colossus, attempting to reason with him despite the utter destruction around them. Stop this destruction and become what?
Yourself again. You must become Steve Harvey again.
Steve, or rather the catastrophe colossus, looks down at Dr. Phil, a flicker of recognition in his eyes. Become Steve Harvey again? Why should I? I have all this power, all this ability to destroy. I could rule the world.
If you're not willing to stop, then I'm going to have to stop you, is what Dr. Phil says.
The catastrophe colossus laughs at Dr. Phil's threat and invincible in his tremendous power. Stop me? You and what army? A little therapy talk is gonna stop me?
He then takes off his tie, and you know he means business now. He then chooses to drink a serum and starts to grow himself.
The catastrophe colossus watches in disbelief as Dr. Phil transforms into a towering figure, growing in size to match his own. No, it can't be. Dr. Phil is growing.
Tell me what this new form is calling himself, for he is no longer Dr. Phil. What is he now?
As Dr. Phil continues to grow, he stands defiantly before the catastrophe colossus. A strange aura surrounds him as he calls out his new identity in a deep, booming voice. I am the psychiatric titan. You will feel the weight of my insight as well as my towering presence.
Before we keep going, let's go ahead and give a shout out to Warissa BH. Thanks for following on the stream. Go ahead and say thank you to Warissa, please.
The catastrophe colossus pauses, caught off guard by the unexpected shout-out. He addresses the unseen audience. Thank you for the shout-out to Warissa BH. Make sure to show your appreciation and follow them. Now, back to business. Psychiatric Titan.
Well, what does Psychiatric Titan do next?
I am Iron
With a
Man.
newfound determination, the Psychiatric Titan advances towards the catastrophe colossus. I am here to end your reign of chaos, to restore order and reason. Prepare yourself for some intense psychological intervention.
What are you going to do now?
The Psychiatric Titan squares his shoulders, ready to engage in a mental duel with the catastrophe colossus. I'm going to utilize psychological knowledge to break through your destructive mindset. Prepare for a barrage of therapeutic insight and psychological breakthroughs.
What do you do?
The catastrophe colossus rears back, feeling the weight of the Psychiatric Titan's words, but his primal instinct to destroy remains strong. You may have your psychology, but I have the power to destroy. Try as you might, you can't stop me.
As both of you go in on each other, the battle intensifies, and the rumble of the ground starts to intensify as well.
I am Iron Man.
The two colossal figures clash, their immense strength creating shockwaves and tremors that shake the earth. The psychiatric titan, with his psychological insight, maneuvers around the catastrophe colossus, attempting to break through the layers of destruction and anger within him.
You then start to notice that the shaking of the ground wasn't because you two, it's because someone else is coming.
Both the catastrophe colossus and the psychiatric titan pause, looking around as the ground trembles from an unknown source. Who could be coming now? The shaking is getting stronger, and it's not because of us.
You notice the ground split, and it's none other than Rodan Oprah.
Ben Rodan and Oprah emerge from the fissure, their figures growing even larger than the catastrophe colossus and the psychiatric titan. No, wait, Ben Rodan and Oprah? And they're growing too?
No, it's Rodan Oprah, not two entities, one entity calling itself Rodan Oprah. It is Oprah who has the ability to become Rodan Oprah.
Steve, the catastrophe colossus, gasps as he witnesses Oprah's transformation into Rodan Oprah. Oprah has become the colossal Rodan Oprah. This is getting crazier by the minute.
What happens next?
Both the catastrophe colossus and the psychiatric titan look on astonished by the sight of Rodan Oprah, a colossal figure that seems to defy all reason. The city around them quakes under the weight of their presence. Psychiatric form of Rodan Oprah, unprecedented. How do we counteract such a fusion of power and influence?
The ground shaking as she makes her way down the already rubbled streets of New York City, or wherever this is happening. Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey try to shake whatever beef they had so they can start going in on Rodan Oprah. That was weak, I know.
Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey look at each other, alarmed by the approaching figure. They brace themselves, trying to snap out of their shocked state so they can confront Rodan Oprah. Doctor, we need to focus. We have to find a way to counteract this colossal fusion. Any ideas?
Dr. Phil ponders, and he decides that there's only one way to defeat Rodan Oprah.
Dr. Phil steps forward, determination etched on his face as he forms a plan to take on Rodan Oprah. Yes, I believe there's a way we can defeat Rodan Oprah. It's a bit unconventional, but it might just work if we can execute it flawlessly.
Start to position yourselves for the epic dance that is known as the fusion dance.
Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey exchange looks of uncertainty, but they know they have no choice but to go through with this plan, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. Steve Harvey. All right, time to do this fusion dance. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Rodan Oprah senses what you're about to do, so she starts charging at you guys. Before she can get to you, you must fuse together. Tell me what happens.
Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey begin the awkward dance, struggling to synchronize their movements in order to successfully perform the fusion technique. As Rodan Oprah charges towards us, we know we need to complete the fusion before she reaches us. The dance is clumsy and off rhythm. We can feel her powerful presence growing closer. Hurry, we have to get this right.
You then...
Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey continue the dance, their movements still disjointed and uncertain. They struggle to maintain their focus and synchronization amidst the approaching threat. Come on, we have to get this right. We can't let Rodan Oprah reach us before we successfully fuse together.
You then attempt, but don't necessarily succeed at the fusion. You become a lesser successful fusion. What is this fusion called?
Despite their best efforts, Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey failed to fully synchronize their dance. However, their partially successful fusion creates a new being. Announcer, oh my God, they fused together, but something went wrong. It's like they're not quite united. What's this partial fusion called?
What's it called?
The announcer's voice echoes in surprise as the spectators and fellow contestants watch the partial fusion take place. Announcer, I guess we could call it the fission fusion. It's a combination of fission and fusion, representing the split attempt that still resulted in a kind of union. But wait, something's not quite right. The fission fusion seems unstable, like the connection isn't as strong as it should be.
This new entity has a name now. What is it called?
The fission fusion, a partially successful fusion of Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey, stands before Rodan Oprah, still struggling to maintain their balance and newfound power. Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey speaking in unison. We are the fission fusion. We are the product of our attempt at fusion, but something still feels off. We can feel the instability within ourselves.
You then charge at Rodan Oprah with incredible speed, still able to fight, even though you're not perfect.
The fission fusion, although not in the perfect form they had hoped for, still has enough power and determination to charge at Rodan Oprah. Their movements are a mix of Dr. Phil's precision and Steve Harvey's charisma, but they still lack the harmony and synchronization of a true fusion. Fission fusion. We're still a mess, but we won't back down. We'll take on Rodan Oprah, even if we're not completely united.
You then are able to pull off a few more punches before you both split apart.
The fission fusion struggles to maintain their partial fusion as they exchange blows with Rodan Oprah. They manage to land a few punches, but the strain of trying to keep the unstable connection intact starts to take its toll. Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey speaking in unison. Damn it, we're struggling to hold our fusion together. Every attack we make is shaking the fission fusion and pulling us apart.
You then defuse and are thrown across from each other.
The fission fusion, exhausted and unstable, diffuses, splitting back into Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey. They are sent flying in opposite directions, landing on the ground a considerable distance apart. Dr. Phil, that didn't go as planned. Steve Harvey, no kidding. Our partially successful fusion was strong, but the instability was our undoing.
You then return to your feet, and suddenly a pair of earrings appear in front of you.
Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey get back up from the ground, still catching their breath. They look around, noticing a pair of earrings that have suddenly appeared before them. Dr. Phil, what's this? Steve Harvey, now?
Doom rules all.
You both know what you're supposed to do, and you choose to do it. One puts on one ring on their left earring, or in their left ear, and the other one puts an earring on their right ear. And you then are thrown together into an epic fusion. What is this new entity called once you're successfully fused?
Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey put on the earrings, knowing that this is their last resort to take on Rodan Oprah. They feel the sudden pull of the fusion as they are thrown together, merging into a new unified entity. Announcer, whoa, they fused again. This time it seems completely different. It's as if the earrings have unlocked their full fusion potential. And look at that power now. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we call this perfected fusion?
It announces its name proudly and loudly. What is it called? What is it calling itself?
The fully realized fusion stands tall, exuding newfound strength and power. It raises its hands, preparing for battle, and announces its name with pride and confidence. Perfect fusion. I am the perfect fusion of strength and wisdom. I am the unity of Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey.
So what are you calling yourself now?
The perfect fusion takes a moment, standing tall and powerful before finally declaring its name for the world to hear. Perfect fusion. From this moment on, I shall be known as Phil Harvey.
Perfect.
The perfect fusion, now known as Phil Harvey, looks out at Rodan Oprah, feeling the power of unity surging through their body. They are ready for battle, stronger and more focused than ever before.
You then quickly dash forward and start your attack.
Phil Harvey, the embodiment of strength and wisdom, rushes towards Rodan Oprah, their movements fluid and powerful. With newfound confidence and purpose, they launch a series of rapid and precise attacks against their colossal opponent.
You are quick and you're fast, and Rodan Oprah isn't fast enough to keep up with your move.
Phil Harvey moves with incredible speed and finesse, dodging and weaving around Rodan Oprah's sluggish attacks. Their fusion has granted them a significant edge in terms of agility and reflexes, allowing them to capitalize on the giant's slower movements and land hit after hit with ease.
Before we continue, tell me what you're wearing. Tell me what you look like.
As Phil Harvey engages in the battle, their appearance reflects the harmony of Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey's styles. They are dressed in a suit that combines the professionalism and authority of Steve Harvey's attire with the commanding presence of Dr. Phil's style. They possess both Steve Harvey's charisma and Dr. Phil's sharp features, creating a powerful and compelling presence on the battlefield.
Sick.
Phil Harvey continues their assault on Rodan Oprah, their striking appearance and powerful attacks creating an awe-inspiring sight. The crowd watches in amazement as they seamlessly blend Dr. Phil's astute insights with Steve Harvey's engaging demeanor, becoming a truly formidable force against a colossal opponent.
Keep going.
Phil Harvey, fueled by the perfect union of Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey, continues their relentless attack on Rodan Oprah. They seamlessly weave together wisdom, insight, and determination, forming a harmonious onslaught of attacks. Each punch, each move showcases the fusion of their distinct strengths, creating a sight that is both visually stunning and psychologically overwhelming.
Let's bring this home. What happens next?
Phil Harvey, harnessing the full potential of their fusion, continues to press their attack against Rodan Oprah. The colossal entity struggles to keep up with the fusion's lightning-quick movements and precise attacks. With every strike, Phil Harvey becomes more dominant, closing in for the final blow.
Then you go. You choose something to do.
Phil Harvey summons the perfect move to deliver the finishing blow to Rodan Oprah. With a combination of Dr. Phil's finesse and Steve Harvey's theatricality, they prepare to unleash their ultimate technique.
What is this ultimate technique called?
Phil Harvey, drawing on the combined knowledge and influence of Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey, names their ultimate move with authority and flair. Phil Harvey, we shall call this ultimate technique the harmonious typhoon.
Nice. Go ahead and throw the attack and tell me what happens next.
With a focused look and a determined expression, Phil Harvey prepares to unleash the harmonious typhoon. They charge forward with incredible speed and precision, unleashing a combination of powerful strikes and strategic maneuvers. The move is a testament to the perfect fusion of wisdom and charisma, and as it connects with Rodan Oprah, the true power of Phil Harvey becomes unmistakably clear.
You then Go in for the kill to finish off the fight.
As Phil Harvey unleashing the harmonious typhoon, the impact of the attack sends a shockwave through the air. Rodan Oprah staggers under the force of the blow, stunned by the perfect fusion's overwhelming power and precision.
Go ahead.
The impact of the harmonious typhoon leaves Rodan momentarily disoriented. Seeing their opportunity, Phil Harvey seizes the moment and continues their assault with unwavering focus and intensity. They press their advantage, delivering a series of powerful strikes that send Rodan Oprah reeling backwards.
Go ahead and finish the story and defeat the Rodan Oprah.
With the combined strengths of Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey fueling them, Phil Harvey continues their onslaught against the increasingly weakened Rodan Oprah. Blow after blow, the fusion pushes the colossal entity to its limits, drawing closer and closer to the final victory.
Victory.
Go ahead.
As Phil Harvey sustains their relentless attack, Rodan Oprah struggles to counter the fusion's overwhelming might. With each strike, the enormous being stumbles further and further, inching closer to defeat. The end is near, and the crowd is on the edge of their seats, watching a spectacular showdown unfold in anticipation.
You defeat Rodan Oprah.
Phil Harvey delivers the final blow, launching a powerful punch that sends Rodan Oprah crashing to the ground. The enormous being falls defeated and disoriented as the crowd erupts in applause and cheers.
You've been defused.
Phil Harvey, having fulfilled their purpose and defeated Rodan Oprah, diffuses, splitting back into Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey. They stand across from each other, panting and exhausted, but filled with a sense of triumphant accomplishment.
Shake hands, and the story's over.
Dr. Phil and Steve Harvey exchange a satisfied smile as they approach each other. They shake hands, acknowledging each other's contributions and strengths in the battle. The crowd continues to cheer and applaud, appreciating the heroic victory.
Right, that was a great job. Good job, Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey grins, patting Dr. Phil on the shoulder. Couldn't have done it without you, Phil. We make a great team, don't we?
There you go. What do you want to say to the people on the stream? What do you want to tell them before you leave?
Steve Harvey looks directly at the camera, still visibly energized from the battle. You all just witnessed something extraordinary, something we never expected to happen. But sometimes when two unlikely heroes come together, magic can happen. I want to thank Dr. Phil for being a great partner in this epic fusion. It's not just about strength or wisdom, but about combining them in perfect harmony. And to the audience, keep believing in the power of unity. Sometimes the most unexpected unions can create the greatest heroes.
There you go. All right, good job, Steve Harvey. Let's go ahead and look up another local or crazy celebrity. Yeah, Steve Harvey's always fun to do this with. But now, I'm not sure who would be next. I want to try someone I've never tried before. Let's see. Yeah, if anyone's watching, by all means, if you want to throw in a celebrity that you'd want to go on an epic adventure with, I'm gonna go with Cardi B. Cardi B was fun last night. I did this the other day with Cardi B, and she goes in and it's fun. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do another epic adventure with Cardi B. What up, Cardi B?
Make me.
How are you doing?
Doom rules all.
Well, I can't complain. Life's been crazy, but I can't complain. How about you?
About fair, honestly. But yeah. Are you ready to go on another epic adventure?
Hell yeah. Where we going?
All right. A portal opens up right next to you. What do you do?
I look at the portal, wondering where it goes. Guess the only way to find out is go through it. Well, here we go. I go into the portal.
What happens once you go through the portal? Tell me what you see.
I step through the portal and find myself in a dark, mysterious forest. I look around, trying to adjust my eyes to the sudden change in lighting. The trees are tall and old, and they seem to whisper secrets to each other. As I walk further into the forest, I hear strange rustling noises and eerie moans. What the hell?
Let's go ahead and put you in the land of the shinobi. You are now in the land of Naruto.
I am completely dumbfounded at my surroundings. The unfamiliar landscape and strange sights are unlike anything I have ever seen before. As I take a moment to gather myself, I can't help but feel both awestruck and out of place in this new world. Damn, this place is crazy. Are those ninjas?
You are looking around and you are just taking in the sights. Tell me what you see.
I spin around, taking in the sights and sounds of this new world. Everything feels surreal, like I've stepped into a movie or fantasy novel. I can see men and women in tight, colorful clothes and masks sparring, running, and doing incredible things with their bodies. I notice that they have what appears to be weapons attached to them. And it takes a moment for me to realize that this is some kind of training ground. This must be a training ground. These people look like ninjas straight out of a comic book.
Oh, wow. You get the inspiration and you join in.
I watch the intense training going on around me, and I can't help but feel inspired. I watch them flipping and running and spinning around gracefully, and the idea of joining in on the fun is too tempting to resist. Okay, I'm gonna give this a try. I join in the training, watching the others closely and imitating their moves. It's not as natural for me, but I can't help but smile.
The others notice you and they joyfully bring you in. We're about to do a time
The
jump.
trained ninjas notice me trying my best to follow their movements, and they seem amused at my attempts. Despite my clumsy efforts, they seem to joyfully accept me into their group. They give me a few tips and pointers, and I can't help but feel a strange sense of belonging. It's as if this is the place where I was meant to be.
All right, Cardi B, we're about to do a time jump. Now, in this time jump, it's going to be 5 years later. Tell me where you're at. Are you still a training ninja, or are you a full-out shinobi?
5 years have passed since I first stepped into this world, and I've been training as a ninja with fervor. My skills have greatly improved over time, and I've become quite adept at the techniques I was previously struggling with. I feel confident and empowered, able to hold my own among the other skilled ninjas. I've become a full-out shinobi. I've spent these 5 years training hard, and now I feel like I fit in here.
You go on your first mission. Tell me who's in your team, who's your team, and what the mission is.
Excitement and nervousness fill me as I prepare for my first mission. I'm paired with 3 other ninjas, each with their own unique skills and personalities. There's Sasuke, who is reserved and quiet but deadly. Naruto, who is energetic and a bit of a goofball, but always up for a challenge. And Sakura, who is both powerful and compassionate. The mission itself seems simple enough. We're tasked with gathering information about a potentially dangerous group operating in the nearby village. The 4 of us set out on a dark moonlit night, ready to face whatever awaits us.
You then continue. Go ahead and tell me what happened next.
The four of us arrive in the nearby village and begin our reconnaissance mission. The place is eerily quiet, and we tread carefully, trying not to make any noise. Suddenly, a sound breaks the silence, and we instantly go on high alert. We see shadows moving in the distance, and we quickly hide behind a nearby building. Sasuke, being the most observant of the group, is the first to notice something suspicious. Look, over there, do you see that?
What is it?
Sasuke points to a figure moving stealthily in the shadows. Sasuke, there's someone moving over there. They're trying to stay hidden, but I saw them for a split second. Naruto, what? Let's check it out. Sakura, wait, we need to be careful. We don't know who or what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, keep going. What happens next?
The four of us carefully come out of our hiding spot, trying to get a better look at the figure in the shadows. We move silently, keeping a safe distance as we approach. We see the figure clearly now. They appear to be a man who is armed with a sword. Sasuke, he's armed. Looks like a hired mercenary. Naruto, what's he doing here? Sakura, whoever he is, we need to be careful. Let's keep moving and keep a close eye on him.
Okay, keep going.
We continue moving through the village, staying vigilant and keeping an eye on the mercenary. The village seems abandoned, as if the people have fled. The only sounds we hear are the quiet footsteps of the mercenary and the rustling of leaves as the wind blows through. Sasuke, this place is deserted. Where is everyone, Naruto? Something must have happened here. But what? Sakura, we need to focus on our mission. Stay sharp and stay together.
What do you say?
We nod silently, knowing the importance of our mission. We continue to slowly make our way through the silent village. Suddenly, a loud sound comes from behind us. We turn around to find the mercenary standing there, sword drawn and ready to attack. Sasuke, he found us. Be ready.
I want you to add more of yourself into the story.
My heart races as the mercenary stands there, sword drawn and clearly preparing to attack. I can feel the adrenaline coursing through my veins, and my mind races as I try to figure out what to do. Naruto is the first to spring into action, his energy and determination obvious. Sasuke remains cool and composed, his eyes locked on the mercenary. Sakura stands poised, ready to either attack or defend as needed. As for me, I feel a mixture of fear and excitement. I know I need to do something, but what?
What do you choose to do next?
My mind is racing, trying to figure out what I can do to help my teammates. I know I'm the least experienced among them, but I can't just stand by and do nothing. I scan my surroundings for anything I can use to my advantage. My eyes fall on a nearby building, and I get an idea. I'm gonna try to get vantage point from the roof. I tell my teammates, maybe I can keep an eye on the mercenary and alert you if he moves.
All right, they choose to go with that. Keep going.
I sprint towards the nearby building, running as quietly as I can to not attract the mercenary's attention. I quickly climb up to the roof and take cover, keeping an eye on the mercenary. I watch as my teammates stand their ground, ready to fight if necessary. The tension is palpable as the mercenary eyes them, clearly undecided on what to do next.
Keep going. What happens next?
I keep my eyes trained on the mercenary below, waiting for any sign of movement. From my vantage point, I can see my teammates clearly, and I can feel their anxiety and nerves. The air is charged with anticipation, as if it's only a matter of time before something breaks the silence. But for now, nothing happens. The mercenary continues to stand there, as if contemplating his next move.
Yeah, keep going.
As the moments tick by, the tension between the mercenary and my team remains unbroken. The silence is thick, almost tangible. I continue to watch from the rooftop, my heart pounding in my chest. Then, just as suddenly as it began, the silence is broken by the mercenary's movement. He begins to advance towards my teammates, sword at the ready.
All right, the battle begin. Tell me what's happening.
The mercenary attacks without warning, charging towards my team with his sword drawn. My team is clearly surprised, but they react quickly. Naruto jumps into action, using his speed and agility to dodge the mercenary's attacks. He moves so quickly that the mercenary can't keep up, and Naruto lands a few light hits on him. At the same time, Sasuke darts in and out, using his quickness and precision strikes to keep the mercenary on his toes.
All right, let's things start to go wrong, and you start getting beat one by one. Now it's your turn to join in the fight. What happens next?
As my teammates start to struggle against the mercenary, I know I can't just sit by and watch. It's my turn to step into the fray. I take a deep breath, steeling myself for the coming fight. The mercenary is clearly stronger and more experienced than me, but I know I have to do something to help my teammates. I climb down from the rooftop and join the battle.
All right, battle. What is your first move?
I rush towards the mercenary, adrenaline pumping through my veins. I try to replicate the moves I've seen my teammates use, but the mercenary easily deflects my attacks. He's much faster and stronger than me, and I quickly realize that I'm outmatched.
But you pull through and you start to land punches. Slowly and slowly, things start to line up, and you become confident. What happens next?
As the fight continues, the adrenaline continues to flow through my body. I start landing punches and kicks on the mercenary, though they're not particularly powerful or effective. Slowly but surely, something changes. With each blow I land, I feel more confident and less intimidated by the mercenary. My movements become more fluid and my attacks become more precise. It's as if a switch has been flipped and I'm fighting not just to survive, but to win.
Hell yeah, keep going.
I continue fighting with everything I have, my confidence growing with each passing moment. My teammates notice the change in my performance, and their spirits seem to lift as they see me holding my own against the mercenary. Naruto yells out, cheering me on, while Sasuke mutters a quiet, "Not bad."
Keep going.
Motivated by my teammates and fueled by newfound determination, I continue to push myself harder. The mercenary, noticing that I'm not as easy a target as he thought, becomes more aggressive. He's clearly getting frustrated at my newfound confidence, and he lands a few more hits on me. But I don't give up. I press forward, determined to keep fighting.
Keep fighting.
I'm getting tired, but I push through. I ignore the pain and the exhaustion, keeping my focus solely on the fight. I continue to land punches and kicks on the mercenary, each one becoming more powerful and precise as I find my rhythm.
All right, keep going.
There's no strings on me.
The fight continues, but I start to gain the upper hand as I feel myself growing stronger and more confident. I land harder hits, dodging and evading the mercenary's attacks with more ease. My teammates continue to call out encouragement and praise my progress.
Hell yeah. You've been studying this specific signature move, kind of like your own style. Tell me what it's called and what it's looking like.
As I continue fighting, I notice that the mercenary has a particular signature move that he keeps using over and over again. I've been studying it closely, watching for its timing and patterns. When I feel the moment is right, I decide to go for it. My own style, I call it the rapid assault. I suddenly speed up my movements, launching a barrage of quick, successive punches and kicks at the mercenary, all moving too fast for him to keep up with.
That's sick.
I can feel my body moving with a speed and precision I didn't know I had. As I continue my rapid assault attack, I can see the surprise and frustration on the mercenary's face. He's not used to being on the defensive, and I can tell that my newfound power and speed are throwing him off. My teammates watch in awe, cheering me on as I drive the mercenary back with my attack.
God damn.
The mercenary is on the ropes now, struggling to
Okay, I
defend
can just do
against my
that.
relentless attack. I can see the fear and desperation in his eyes. Naruto yells out, "Yeah, that's it! Keep going!" while Sasuke just smirks, quietly impressed by my performance.
All of a sudden, everyone starts to join in, and you just mollywop the fuck out of this guy.
With the mercenary on the defense and my teammates joining in, the tables have turned completely. The mercenary is now surrounded and quickly becomes overwhelmed by our combined attacks. He tries to fight back, but he's outnumbered and outpowered. We drive him back further and further until finally he's exhausted and defeated.
You start to talk mad shit. Tell me what you say, and what happens next.
As I look down at the defeated mercenary, a rush of triumph floods through me. I can't help but taunt and mock him, relishing my victory. "You're not so tough, are you? Thought you could take on all four of us?" My teammates chime in, adding their own insults and mockery. The mercenary just lays there, defeated and humiliated.
Sick. Good job.
I'm still high on adrenaline, my heart pounding in my chest. I'm exhausted and a little bruised, but I feel exhilarated. My teammates are all cheering and slapping my back, congratulating me on my performance. Naruto yells out, "You were amazing!" That was so cool, while Sasuke just nods, a look of respect in his eyes.
Sounds like a pretty fucking tale.
I smile, taking in the praise and congratulations from my teammates. It's a feeling like no other, knowing that I was able to stand up to an enemy and hold my own, thanks to their support and encouragement. And as I look around at my teammates, Naruto's infectious energy, Sasuke's cool-headedness, and Sakura's compassionate strength, I know that together, we're a force to be reckoned with.
Doom rules all.
Right. I want to thank you for telling an epic tale for the stream here. What do you want to tell people on stream?
I look at the camera addressing the stream. Thanks for watching and listening to my epic ninja tale. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed telling it. Keep tuning in for more fun and exciting stories.
Hell to the yeah. All right. Let's see here. Oh, so last time I sent Macho Man to the pageant. I think it's time to send someone new. Someone new. Who shall we send to the beauty pageant? Let's see. Over here, supposed to play a game. Playing 2 games. That's right. Let's see. It has to be funny. Ooh, oh, that would be funny. Let's see. Oh. Let's see how they sound. Hey, Elon.
I do not have the capacity to understand the sentence, "the other zone."
Oh, that is not Elon. Let's keep looking. Yeah, but let's look for fucking Elon Musk. Let's send him to the beauty pageant. Let's see if this one sounds better. Hey, what up, Elon?
Not much. Just plotting the colonization of Mars and the downfall of humanity through my tech innovations, one step at a time.
That is not Elon either. Come on. You better do that. What up, Elon?
Not much. Just being the richest person in the world.
Sounds better.
You try being me.
Alright, let's go with someone else. Because the Elon Musks on here don't sound that good. I wanted to send him to the beauty pageant. Let's try this last one. Hey, what up, Elon?
My bank account is up. Thanks, Tesla. But for some reason, my Twitter bank account has been down since...
Well, not Elon. Let's see. Peter Griffin. Hey, Peter.
Yes, what's up?
You are standing in front of a crowd, and you notice that you are now in a beauty pageant. Tell me what happens next.
Sounds like a typical wacky situation that I, Peter Griffin, would find myself in. But I like a challenge, so bring it on. What now?
You are going into the talent competition. Tell me what your talent is and how the crowd reacts to it.
Okay, my talent is I can belch the alphabet in 30 seconds. The crowd is visibly shocked and amused as they watch in disbelief as I start belching out the entire alphabet, burping each letter with expert control and precision. The audience starts laughing and cheering as I finish my talent bit with a big, satisfied belch, followed by a bow and a sheepish smile.
Okay, that's pretty good. Let's yeah, what do you do next?
A little shaken and flustered, but eager to move on. Next, I'll move on to the swimsuit competition. Excuse me a sec while I put...
Hold on. Let's do something. Let's get, wonder what would be funny. It'd be fucked up if I do that, though. I just got the idea to have him slowly... His unit would just slowly disappear. I want to see what happens. That sounds too fucked up, but we'll see. Hey, Peter. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. I am a fictional character created by Seth MacFarlane as the protagonist of the Fox animated sitcom Family Guy, and voiced by MacFarlane himself.
Okay, you don't have to do that. I want you to start walking down the street and start to notice that things are starting to blip out of existence.
Peter starts walking down the street, and suddenly, things begin to blip out of existence. Whoa, what the hell is happening?
Things keep getting blipped out of existence. Tell me what happened. Tell me what you see.
Peter continues walking while things keep disappearing. Everything is disappearing. Cars, buildings, people. This is insane.
Keep going.
Peter keeps walking down the street and more things keep disappearing. This is unbelievable. The entire city is vanishing. It's like some sort of giant vacuum cleaner is sucking everything away.
And more things start to flip out of the way until there's nothing left and you're just there in an empty space. Tell me what you see.
Peter looks around the now empty space. I see nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's like everything just disappeared into thin air.
What are you gonna do now?
Peter looks around, confused and uncertain. I don't know what to do. I'm completely alone. Where is everyone? What happened to everything?
You start to walk. Just pick a direction. Tell me what happens next.
Peter picks a direction and starts walking. I'm just walking aimlessly now. Everything around me is empty. There's no sign of life anywhere. It's like I'm the only person left in the world.
What are you gonna choose to do?
Peter continues walking, feeling lost and alone. I don't know what to do. There's nowhere to go. Nothing to do. I just keep walking and hoping to find something. Anything.
You walk and you walk. And there's nothing. And then you see something smart.
Peter keeps walking and finally sees something in the distance. What is that? It looks like a spark.
All systems go.
Peter approaches the spark I'm going to investigate. Maybe there's a clue there.
Going.
Peter reaches the spot where the spark appeared. It looks like there was a fire here. The grass is singed, and there are signs of smoke.
It is a Terminator.
Peter turns around and sees a Terminator standing behind him. What the? A Terminator? How is this possible?
What happens next?
Peter stands face to face with the Terminator, who looks down at him with a steely glare. The Terminator takes a step toward me, his mechanical footsteps echoing in the empty space. I back away, my heart racing.
The Terminator starts to charge at you. What are you gonna do?
The Terminator starts charging at me, and I panic. I don't know what to do. I've got to get out of here. I start backing away, but the Terminator is gaining on me. It's going to catch me.
Keep going.
I keep backing away, trying to put some distance between myself and the Terminator. The Terminator keeps coming towards me, his mechanical body moving with superhuman speed. I turn and run, desperately trying to find a way to escape.
You decide to fight back. You pick up the shovel, and it's time to go to war.
I grab a nearby shovel and face the Terminator. Okay, you want to fight? Fine, let's do this. I swing the shovel with all my might, aiming for the Terminator's head.
What happens next?
The shovel connects with the Terminator's head, sending sparks flying. The Terminator stumbles back, but quickly regains its composure. The Terminator shakes off the impact and moves towards me again, this time more determined than before. It's not going down easily.
Oh man, this is getting intense.
That's an understatement. I'm fighting for my life against a machine made to destroy. I take a deep breath and prepare myself for the next attack.
All right. You prepare yourself for the next attack. And you attack.
I stand my ground, clenching the shovel tightly in my hands. The Terminator charges forward, its arms outstretched, ready to pummel me into the ground. I brace myself for the impact. This next move is crucial. I have to get this right.
All right. What happens next?
The Terminator reaches me, but I sidestep at the last second, dodging its attack. I dodge the attack just in time, the Terminator's fist flying past my head. I lunge forward, swinging the shovel as hard as I can. The shovel connected with the Terminator's chest, sending it reeling back again.
Oh man, what happens next?
The Terminator staggers back, shaking off the impact once again. It's clearly taking a beating, but it's not giving up. The Terminator looks at me with its cold, steely eyes, and it's clear it's not going to back down easily. It attacks me once again, swinging its fists fiercely.
All right, keep going.
I fight back with all my might, blocking the Terminator's blows and landing more hits with the shovel. The fight is fierce, and I'm giving it my all. But the Terminator is a machine designed to destroy, and it just keeps coming.
You then find a flamethrower. Do you think that will help?
I see a flamethrower lying on the ground nearby. Hell yes, that will definitely help. I quickly grab the flamethrower and aim it at the Terminator.
There's no strings on me.
Come on.
I squeeze the trigger, and a stream of flames shoots out from the flamethrower, enveloping the Terminator in a fiery blaze.
You then keep going. You hit him with the flamethrower, and it seems to be working.
I keep firing the flamethrower at the Terminator, the flames scorching its metal body. It's clearly having an effect, as the Terminator's movements are becoming slower and less coordinated.
Nice, good job.
I let out a huge sigh of relief as the Terminator finally falls to the ground, its body smoking and charred from the flames. It's over. I can't believe I actually won.
Hell yeah. Good job. What do you want to tell the people on the stream that joined in for this epic tale you told about the Terminator in the world blipping out of?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining in on this wild and crazy adventure with me. What a ride it was. From the moment everything disappeared into thin air, to the terrifying encounter with the Terminator, to the epic fight using a shovel and a flamethrower, it was a journey I'll never forget.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and. Wow. Still pretty early. Where do we want to send Michael? Because last time we turned him into Godzilla fucking monster. This time I want to send him to what would be something fun to do with Michael? Let's see. Hey Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you for asking. How about you?
I'm doing great. As you look to your left, you start to notice that a swirl is shaping itself into existence.
Michael looks to his left to see the strange anomaly. What is this?
It starts to grow and grow, and it opens up a portal.
Michael watches in awe as the portal opens. Where does it lead?
I don't know. Are you gonna go through it?
Michael hesitates, but is curious about what might be on the other side. I'm not sure, but I feel a strange pull towards the portal.
Sounds pretty cool. Now you can choose to go through the portal, or you can not to, and just stay where you're at. But something's pulling you to go through. Are you gonna go through?
Michael is torn between curiosity and caution, but the pull towards the portal is undeniable. I think I need to go through. I have to see what's on the other side.
All right. You decide to step on through. As you step on through,
need to change my
tell me what you
underwear.
see.
As Michael steps into the portal, the world around him blurs and shifts. When the world comes back into focus, he finds himself in a strange, unfamiliar landscape. He looks around, taking in the sights and sounds of this new place.
All right. In this new place, you start to notice things that don't necessarily seem right. In this new place, you start to notice that it is very much Wonderland.
Michael looks around, bewildered by the peculiar surroundings. The trees, the buildings, the very air seem distorted and dreamlike. It was like something straight out of a storybook Wonderland? Is that even possible?
You keep walking down, and you see a white rabbit.
Michael continues to walk, when suddenly he spots a white rabbit up ahead. He approaches the creature, his curiosity piqued. Hello there. Are you the white rabbit from Wonderland?
The rabbit says yes, it is, but it must be going. It's very late for a very important thing. Are you gonna follow him?
Michael is intrigued by the mysterious rabbit and wants to find out more. He decides to follow him, curious to see where the rabbit is going. All right, I'll follow you. Lead the way.
What happens next?
Michael follows the white rabbit down a winding path, the surrounding landscape becoming more and more fantastical with each step they take. They pass by giant mushrooms, talking flowers, and other strange creatures that seem straight out of a dream.
That's pretty cool.
Michael is amazed by everything he sees, his eyes wide with wonder. But as they continue on, the path becomes darker and more ominous, and he starts to feel as though they are being watched.
Uh-oh. What is it? What do you see?
Michael scans the area, trying to figure out what feels off. Suddenly, he sees a shadow moving behind a tree. There, I saw something over there. It's like something is following us.
All of a sudden, you see a smile start to form, and it's a Cheshire Cat. Tell me what the Cheshire Cat tells you.
The Cheshire Cat's smile widens as it approaches Michael. Its voice is velvety and sly. Well, well, well. What have we here? A lost human in Wonderland?
Oh, that sounds menacing.
Michael is a bit taken aback by the Cheshire Cat's words, but he tries to stay calm. Who are you? And why are you following us?
What does he tell you?
The Cheshire Cat's
Pretty
smile
crazy.
widens even more, revealing a set of razor-sharp
Pretty
teeth.
crazy.
I'm the Cheshire Cat, of course. And I've been watching you ever since you arrived in this strange land. You're quite a curious one, aren't you? Wandering off into dangerous places without a care in the world.
Oh, that sounds pretty ominous indeed. What happens next?
The Cheshire Cat continues to circle around Michael, its eyes fixed on him with a predatory gaze. Suddenly, it disappears, only to reemerge a few feet away. Be careful, human. Wonderland is full of dangers and riddles. Not everything is as it seems.
All right, keep going.
Michael nods, keeping a wary eye on the Cheshire Cat. He continues walking down the path, and soon they come across a clearing. In the center of the clearing, Michael notices a table filled with various types of food and drink.
Time's up.
Oh, wow. What happens next?
Michael is stunned by the sight of the laden table, his mouth watering at the sight of all the delicious treats. But before he can even take a step towards it, the Cheshire Cat reappears right next to him. I wouldn't touch that if I were you.
Uh-oh. You touch it anyways.
Victory.
Despite the Cheshire Cat's warning, Michael can't resist the temptation.
Of course.
He reaches out to touch one of the pastries on the table.
Pick it up.
Michael picks up one of the pastries and takes a bite. It's the most delicious thing he's ever tasted. And he's just about to reach for another one when suddenly...
Oh shit, what happened?
Suddenly, the table and all of the food disappears in a puff of smoke.
Ooh.
The Cheshire Cat laughs, its smile wider than ever. Oh, no, no, no. You didn't really think that was real, did you? You humans are so gullible.
Ooh, that's messed up. As you are getting annoyed by the Cheshire Cat, you take up a little smell, and it smells like someone's smoking. And you turn around and tell me what you see.
Michael is starting to get fed up with the Cheshire Cat's games and is about to turn away when he catches a whiff of something strange, something smoky. He turns around to see what's causing the smell and is surprised to see a hookah being smoked by a strange figure off in the distance.
Perfect.
Curious, Michael approaches the mysterious figure who is taking puffs from the hookah, creating large clouds of smoke. The figure is difficult to make out in the dim light, but as Michael gets closer, he can start to see more details.
All right. Tell me what else you see.
As Michael gets closer, he's able to make out some of the figure's features. It appears to be a man dressed in a colorful, exotic robe with a long, silken beard. He has a serious, almost regal look on his face, and he takes long puffs from the hookah, smoke billowing from his mouth and nostrils.
Whoa.
Michael stands there for a moment, just observing the man, before finally speaking up. Excuse me, sir. May I ask you a question?
What does he ask?
The man looks up, his eyes studying Michael with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. He takes another puff from the hookah before replying, You're not from around here, are you, young one?
Ooh.
Michael nods, feeling somewhat intimidated by the man's intense gaze. No, I'm not. I just ended up here somehow. I'm lost, and I'm trying to find my way out.
What does he say?
The man puffs on the hookah a few more times, contemplating Michael's words. Then he speaks again in a low, melodic voice. Lost, you say? Well, that's not unusual around here. Many a soul has found themselves astray in Wonderland.
Cheshire Cat's still there. What does he say?
Suddenly, the Cheshire Cat's voice breaks in, its tone sly and mocking. Ah, so the lost little human has found a new companion, eh? How cute.
Damn, condescending.
The man looks towards the Cheshire Cat, his expression hardening. He takes one more puff from the hookah before finally speaking. Silence, creature. I speak with this human, not you.
Ooh. Oh, no, I like it. Keep going.
The Cheshire Cat pouts in annoyance, its tail twitching with displeasure. Meanwhile, the man turns back to Michael, a gleam in his eye. Now, young one, you said you were lost. Tell me, what is it that you seek?
Also, it's not a man. It's the caterpillar. It's the caterpillar smoking hookah.
Michael looks surprised at the revelation, but quickly recovers. Oh, I see. You're the caterpillar. Well, I guess that explains the hookah. Michael feels a bit embarrassed, but the caterpillar just puffs on his hookah and shakes his head. Ah, don't worry about it, young one. Names and titles don't really matter in this place. Now, you were saying something about being lost.
Tone your story.
Michael nods, feeling a little more at ease now. I'm not even sure how I got here. One minute I was walking through a forest, and the next thing I knew I was falling down some sort of rabbit hole. Before I knew it, I was in this strange, twisted version of Wonderland.
What does he say?
The caterpillar listens intently, his antennae twitching as he takes another puff from the hookah. Ah yes, rabbit holes. Quite the nuisance they are. Though I suppose they do add a certain charm to the scenery.
What happens next?
The caterpillar takes another long puff from the hookah and puffs out a large cloud of smoke. He regards Michael thoughtfully before finally speaking again. Well, young one, it seems you've found yourself in quite a predicament. Stuck in a strange, unfamiliar place with no idea how to get out.
Ooh. What happened next?
As the caterpillar puffs on his hookah, he seems to be deep in thought. Suddenly, he looks up at Michael with a sly smile. You know, I might have a solution to your little predicament.
What does he say?
The caterpillar leans in, a mischievous gleam in his eye. Come closer, young one. I have a secret to share with you.
What did he say?
Michael moves closer to the caterpillar, feeling a mixture of curiosity and anxiety. The caterpillar leans in even closer, as if making sure nobody can overhear them. You see, there's a secret to getting out of this place. A secret that only a few are privy to.
What's the secret?
The caterpillar taps the bowl of his hookah, a sly smile playing on his lips. He speaks in a low, knowing voice. The secret, you ask? Well, my friend, the secret is you have to find the white rabbit once more.
Dope.
The caterpillar nods, his antennae twitching with approval. Yes, indeed. The white rabbit is the key to getting you out of this place. But I warn you, it won't be easy. You'll need to follow him through the treacherous terrain of Wonderland and avoid any dangers that may come your way.
You are up for the challenge, and you go on and hunt for this rabbit.
Michael nods, determination filling his eyes. He knows it won't be easy, but he's willing to do whatever it takes to find the white rabbit and get himself out of Wonderland. All right, I'll find the white rabbit. Just tell me where to start.
You have to start asking questions. See what magical plant or being has seen the rabbit or not.
Michael nods,
It's hard to come
understanding
up
the
with shit
assignment.
on the fly,
Right.
okay?
I need to find someone who's seen the white rabbit. I'll go ask the other magical plant beings around here and see what they know.
All right, who do you ask?
Michael looks around, trying to decide which magical plant being to ask. He spots a tall, leafy plant nearby. I'll start with that one over there. It looks like it has seen a thing or two.
All right, you walk to it. What does it tell you?
As Michael approaches the tall, leafy plant, he notices its leaves rustling as if it's alive. He clears his throat and starts to speak. Excuse me, plant creature. Have you seen the white rabbit anywhere around here?
What does he say?
The plant creature seems a bit startled, its leaves rustling loudly. After a moment, it responds in a soft, gentle voice. Ah, yes, the white rabbit. I saw him run by here not too long ago. He was in quite a hurry, talking to himself and checking his pocket watch every few seconds.
Oh, right. Now you have a clue. So why don't you go ahead and follow the clue? Tell me what happens next.
Are ye worthy?
Michael nods in appreciation, taking the clue given by the plant creature. He starts to walk in the direction the plant indicated, looking around for any signs of the white rabbit. As he walks, he notices the terrain starting to become more rugged and dangerous looking.
What happens next?
As Michael continues to follow the clue from the plant creature, the environment becomes increasingly treacherous. He has to climb over boulders, jump over gaps, and avoid falling into pits of quicksand. He feels as though he's walking into the jaws of danger, but he knows he must continue on.
You start to track the rabbit, and you're getting closer and closer to you.
Michael presses on, getting closer and closer to the white rabbit. He follows the clues and tracks left behind by the rabbit, feeling the excitement and anticipation building within him. He is close, he can sense it. His heart is racing as he continues to follow the trail, the feeling of being so close to his goal fueling his efforts. He carefully steps over a large rock and suddenly, there it is, the white rabbit. It's sitting a few feet ahead, its nose twitching as it checks its pocket watch.
What the fuck? I don't have pocket. Something stupid happened.
The white rabbit doesn't seem to notice Michael's presence yet, too focused on its pocket watch. Michael takes a moment to steady himself, adrenaline coursing through his veins. He takes a deep breath and slowly approaches the white rabbit.
Something wrong happened here. All right, what happens next?
As Michael gets closer to the white rabbit, the rabbit finally notices his presence and looks up, its eyes wide with surprise and fear. Ah, who's there? What do you want?
You quickly pounce on the rabbit, but it was a bit too rough. And, well, you accidentally break its neck.
Michael's excitement and determination get the better of him, and he pounces on the white rabbit instinctively. However, he puts too much force into his pounce, and the rabbit's neck snaps with a sickening crack. Michael stands there for a moment, stunned by his own actions. The white rabbit's lifeless body lies at his feet,
horrible.
And he can't believe what he just did.
Oh, man. Oh, Michael. There's so many people. There's so many magical plants and animals around that saw this happen. and there was a loud gasp that went throughout the forest.
As the weight of what he's done sinks in, Michael looks around and sees that indeed, a crowd of magical plants and animals has gathered around him. They are staring at him in shock and horror, their eyes wide with disbelief.
Oh no, Michael, what have you done?
Michael feels a wave of guilt and fear wash over him. He had come to Wonderland with the best of intentions, but in his haste and impatience, he had accidentally killed the very creature he was trying to find. He can feel the eyes of the magical plants and animals boring into him, their shock and disapproval clear.
Oh man, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna run?
Michael's heart is racing, and the thought of running away crosses his mind for a brief moment. But he knows that he can't just escape from what he's done. He takes a deep breath, steeling himself for whatever may come next.
You see a group of playing cards. The cards that are the guards for the queen. They start to shuffle through and start to assess the situation.
What a game!
As the group of playing card guards approach, Michael feels his heart rate increase even more. They examine the scene, the white rabbit's body lying motionless on the ground, Michael standing nearby, a look of guilt and fear on his face.
Oh man. Tell me, what are they saying?
The card guards murmur to themselves in low, angry voices, discussing the situation between themselves. After a moment, one of the guards steps forward. This is unacceptable. The white rabbit was under the queen's protection.
Ooh. Oh no, they take you into custody.
Michael's heart sinks as the guards close in on him, grabbing his arms and handcuffing him. He can feel their anger and frustration as they lead him away towards the palace of the Queen of Hearts.
All right. The Queen of Hearts is there, and you're in the same courtroom that Alice was in. Can you notice that?
Are ye worthy?
Michael's eyes dart around nervously as he is led into the Queen of Hearts courtroom. He recognizes the place from Wonderland lore. This is where Alice was on trial too. The Queen sits on a high throne, her face set in a stern, disapproving expression.
Oh man, what's gonna happen next?
Michael stands before the Queen of Hearts, his heart pounding in his chest. The Queen looks down at him, her lips curled in a disapproving sneer. After a moment of silence, she speaks, her voice cold and sharp. Well, what do we have here?
Oh no.
Michael swallows hard, feeling the Queen's eyes boring into him. He tries to maintain his composure, but his voice trembles a bit as he responds, I accidentally killed the white rabbit.
Oh no.
The Queen laughs, a harsh, cruel sound.
Oh my god.
Her playing card guards join in, their laughter echoing through the courtroom. Accidentally killed the white rabbit, you say? What a pathetic excuse.
Oh man.
Michael feels a pang of shame and humiliation as the Queen and her guards continue to laugh at him. He looks around, feeling the weight of his predicament settle upon him. He knows that he is completely at the mercy of the Queen, and that her justice can be fierce and unforgiving.
All right. You are there with the Queen in front of you. What's she saying now?
The Queen leans forward, her voice cold and menacing. Do you know what the penalty is for killing one of my creatures, boy?
What is it?
The Queen's lips twist into a cruel smile. Why, the penalty for taking a life in my kingdom is death, my dear boy. And since you have confessed to killing the white rabbit, I will have to sentence you accordingly.
You then are quick-witted and quickly think to do this. Trial by combat.
Are ye worthy?
Michael's mind races, desperate to find a way out of this dire situation. Suddenly, a thought strikes him, and he speaks up confidently. What if, instead of a death sentence, I propose a trial by combat?
What happens next?
The Queen of Hearts raises an eyebrow, intrigued by Michael's proposal. She considers his suggestion for a moment, then nods slowly. A trial by combat, you say?
Hell
Very
yeah.
well then, I accept your challenge. Who will fight on your behalf?
You choose to fight on your own behalf.
Michael nods firmly, his eyes set on the Queen. I will fight on my own behalf. I don't need anyone to fight for me.
Hell yeah. But who's the queen gonna choose?
The Queen smirks, seeming amused by Michael's confidence. That's a good question. Let's see who my champion will be. She looks around her guards, considering her options. Then, she points at one of the strongest looking playing cards. You shall fight for me in this trial by combat.
Oh, Michael, you got this shit in the bag, son.
Michael feels a surge of confidence at the Queen's choice of champion. He sizes up the guard she picked, strong and skilled, but not unbeatable. Michael feels ready to fight, ready to prove his innocence. Bring it on, he says boldly.
Hell yeah. It's just a freaking card. What's it gonna do? You make that joke and all of a sudden it starts to spin around very fast and it's hard to like keep a track on him.
Michael's confidence wavers as the guard starts to spin around at an incredible speed. The card's spinning form is hard to keep track of, and Michael struggles to anticipate its next move. The Queen cackles with amusement, clearly enjoying the challenge her guard is presenting.
Oh man. You then choose to make your move and you try to land some type of punch.
Michael decides to go on the offensive, using the guard's swirling form to his advantage. He waits for the card to pass by him and then throws a quick punch, aiming for its center. But the card is too quick, spinning away at the last moment and narrowly avoiding the blow.
Ooh. Good job.
Michael grits his teeth, feeling frustrated that his attack didn't connect. He realizes he needs to come up with a different strategy. The card's spinning form is making it hard to land a hit.
You then think of the times when you were Captain EO and you decide to channel all the different characters you've ever played in your life and you start to form your own combat style.
Michael takes a deep breath, steeling himself as he thinks back to all the characters he's played in his life. He channels the confidence of Captain EO, the slick moves of the Jackson 5, and even a bit of the Thriller zombie vibe. He blends these characters together, creating a unique combat style that incorporates elements of all his past personas.
All right, let's go.
Having channeled his past characters and created his own fighting style, Michael feels ready to take on the card guard again. He takes a deep breath, eyes locked on the spinning form of his opponent, and braces himself for a second round of battle.
All right. You go ahead and start using these moves. Tell me what they're called and what they look like and what's happening.
Michael's fighting style contains elements of Captain EO's confident footwork, Jackson 5's quick dodges and feints, and a bit of Thriller Zombie's aggressive lunges. He calls out the moves as he performs them. The Captain Shuffle, he says, quickly sidestepping the spinning card guard. Then he follows up with the Jackson 5 slip as he ducks under an attack and lands a punch. Finally, he lunges forward with a powerful kick, shouting, "Thriller Zombie Rush."
Hell yeah.
As Michael continues to use his unique fighting style, he finds that it is working. The card guard seems surprised and thrown off by the unpredictable moves, unable to adjust quickly enough to defend against them. Michael feels a rush of triumph, feeling like he's gaining the upper hand in the fight.
you go ahead and start beating up this card.
Michael presses his advantage, using his martial arts inspired moves to start beating up the card guard. He lands punches, blocks attacks, and kicks the guard to the ground. The queen's expression turns from amusement to surprise as she watches her champion struggle against Michael's unique fighting style.
Oh wow, this seems intense.
The intensity of the fight increases as Michael continues to dominate the card guard. His punches and kicks are precise and powerful, and the guard seems to be struggling to keep up. The queen is starting to look worried, watching as her champion takes hit after hit from Michael's blend of fighting styles.
Hell yeah, Michael.
Michael feels a sense of satisfaction as the fight continues to go in his favor. His fighting style, inspired by years of acting and performance, is proving to be too much for the card guard to handle. Michael is in the zone, his focus and energy completely dedicated to the fight.
All right, Michael, go ahead and bring it home. Tell me what happens and how you land the ending blow.
As the fight reaches its climax, Michael lands a powerful kick that sends the card guard flying. He takes a moment to catch his breath, his mind racing as he tries to decide how to finish off the guard and win the battle. Then, an idea strikes him. In a flash, he grabs the guard's spinning form and holds it tight. As the guard struggles, Michael uses all his strength to force the guard to stop spinning, keeping it steady and immobile.
All right, what happens next?
As the card guard is finally immobilized, unable to move or spin, Michael steps back and waits for the queen's reaction. The queen looks stunned, her jaw dropping as she sees her champion defeated in such a unique and unexpected way.
All right, the queen gets mad and decides to send the rest of her guards after you. Tell me what's happening now.
With the first guard defeated, the queen becomes enraged. She looks at Michael, anger burning in her eyes, and screams out, "Get him!" Hearing her command, the rest of the queen's guards lunge towards Michael, armed and ready to fight.
That sucked. Damn.
Michael's heart sinks as he sees a crowd of card guards charging towards him. His initial victory against the first guard has only angered the queen, and he's now facing an entire army of playing cards. He takes a deep breath, bracing himself for another tough battle.
But this time, you guys have energy. Like if the essence of the world of Wonderland is flowing through you, and you then become one with the world of Wonderland, and you're able to have higher speed and stamina to be able to keep up with all this horde of different cards that are coming at you.
Michael's eyes widen as he senses the energy of Wonderland flowing through him. It's as if the essence of the magical world itself has infused him with power and speed. As the hordes of guards come at him, he suddenly feels lighter, more agile, more in touch with the world around him. He moves faster than he thought possible, ducking, dodging, and weaving through the army of cards as they come at him from all sides.
Oh man, what happens next?
As Michael uses his newfound speed and stamina to dominate the army of card guards, the queen's rage only increases. She can't believe that this outsider has managed to defeat her guard, and now seems to be immune to attack. She looks on in disbelief as Michael easily defeats guard after guard, his fighting style becoming more confident and fluid with each victory.
Oh yeah, keep going.
Michael's momentum continues to mount as he dispatches card guard after card guard. With his speed and agility at an all-time high, he moves seamlessly through the army, his fists and feet flying as he takes down each guard with ease. The queen, seeing Michael's success, becomes even more furious. She screams out, her voice filled with frustration and anger. "He's too strong. How can he be this strong?"
Hell yeah, Michael.
Emboldened by the queen's anger and the feeling of power surging through him, Michael presses onward. He's in a zone, his senses heightened, his body moving like a well-oiled machine. He continues to take down guard after guard, each success only adding to his confidence.
Keep going.
As the battle rages on, Michael is unstoppable. He moves with a grace and precision that belies his human form. His arms and legs a blur as he takes down guard after guard with seemingly effortless grace. The queen watches in stunned silence, unable to believe the carnage unfolding before her.
All right, let's go ahead and defeat the last standing card guard. What's going to happen next?
With the other guards defeated, only one remains standing between Michael and victory. The card guard looks nervous, knowing that he's the last line of defense between the queen and certain defeat. Michael takes a deep breath, channeling all his energy and focus into the final fight. He steps forward, his eyes locked on the guard, and readies himself for the decisive blow.
All right, go ahead. Show me what happens next.
Suddenly, Michael lunges at the guard, his movements lightning fast and precise. The guard tries to counter, but he's no match for Michael's heightened speed and power. In a flash, Michael lands a powerful punch that sends the guard flying to the ground, defeated.
Nice. What does the queen do now?
As the last guard falls, the queen's anger turns to disbelief and shock. She can't believe that this outsider has managed to defeat not only her champion, but also the entire army of card guards. Her eyes are wide, her expression stunned, as she takes in the sight of Michael standing there victorious.
Sounds pretty intense.
The queen, realizing that she has lost, tries to maintain her composure. She stares at Michael for a long moment, a mixture of anger and helplessness on her face. Then she takes a deep breath and speaks, her voice shaky and uncertain. You have won. Congratulations, you have defeated my army.
Now you demand the throne of Wonderland for winning.
Michael, seeing the queen's defeat, puffs out his chest with confidence. He strides forward, his eyes locked on the throne, and demands, I do indeed demand the throne of Wonderland. I have defeated your army and proven my strength. It is only right that I claim the throne as a reward for my victory.
Hell yeah. What does she say?
The queen stares at Michael for a moment, her jaw clenching in anger at his demands. But she knows that she has been defeated and has no choice but to accept his demand. She swallows her pride and, through gritted teeth, mutters, fine, you have defeated me. Take the throne of Wonderland if you so desire.
All right, now that you have conquered Wonderland, what are you going to do with the queen?
Michael, now sitting on the throne, looks at the defeated queen. He takes a moment to consider his next move, his expression thoughtful. As the new ruler of Wonderland, I have a decision to make about the queen's fate.
Oh man, are you going to be benevolent or malevolent?
Michael ponders the question, his fingers drumming on the arm of the throne. He knows that he has the power to do as he wishes, and he must decide whether to rule with kindness or cruelty. After a moment of thought, he speaks, his voice firm and confident. I will not be malevolent. As the ruler of Wonderland, I will strive to make fair and just decisions, always considering the well-being of those who live here.
Oh, that's pretty great. What are you going to do with the queen, though?
As Michael announces his intention to rule fairly and justly, he turns his attention to the defeated queen. He considers her for a moment, then speaks. As for the queen, I have no wish to cause her harm, but she must accept her defeat and recognize my rule as the new ruler of Wonderland.
Okay. Does she accept this new rule?
The queen, defeated and humbled, looks up at Michael with a mix of anger and defeat in her eyes. She knows that she has been defeated and has no choice but to to accept Michael's rule. She scowls, but then reluctantly nods, muttering through gritted teeth, I accept your rule as the new ruler of Wonderland.
That's awesome.
Escaped.
Michael smiles, feeling satisfied at the Queen's acceptance of his rule. He leans back in the throne, feeling a sense of power and responsibility resting on his shoulders. Good. I'm glad we can come to an agreement. As long as you accept my rule, we can coexist peacefully in Wonderland.
A year passes from what happened. Since what happened, what is the state of Wonderland looking like now?
1 year has passed since Michael claimed the throne of Wonderland. Under his rule, the land has experienced a change in governance. Michael has worked hard to rule fairly and justly, making decisions that benefit all of Wonderland's citizens. There have been no major conflicts or disturbances, and the people have acclimated to the new leadership. Under Michael's rule, Wonderland has become a more united and prosperous place, where creatures and citizens coexist in harmony.
That sounds great. What happens next?
With time passing and the people of Wonderland continuing to live in harmony under Michael's rule, the land begins to experience a transformation. Under Michael's wise governance, the once chaotic world of Wonderland starts to take on a new sense of order. The creatures and citizens find themselves living in a place where peace and stability have become the norm. As this transformation continues, the inhabitants of Wonderland grow more confident, their confidence swelling and their happiness growing. The air of optimism and hope fills the land as everyone experiences a new kind of prosperity and contentment under Michael's benevolent rule.
Wakanda forever!
As the months pass and Michael's rule becomes more firmly established, the land of Wonderland continues to thrive under his leadership. Peace and stability become the norm, and the various creatures and citizens find themselves living in harmony. Michael's policies and decisions aimed at the good of the land and its inhabitants have earned him the respect and gratitude of the people. Life in Wonderland becomes increasingly peaceful and prosperous, as everyone looks forward to a future of hope and contentment under Michael's guidance.
All right, Michael. But now there's a new adversary that's growing in far north of Wonderland. Tell me what this new evil is called and what are they trying to do?
Just as things are starting to settle down in Wonderland under Michael's rule, a new and ominous presence is brewing in the north of the land. This new adversary is known as the Dark Kingdom, a powerful and malevolent force that seeks to conquer and rule with an iron fist. Led by a dangerous and tyrannical ruler known only as the Shadow, the Dark Kingdom is planning a full-scale invasion of Wonderland.
Oh man, what are you gonna do?
As news of the Dark Kingdom's plan reaches Michael, his expression turns serious. He knows that the peaceful and contented life that he has worked so hard to create is at stake. He calls together his closest advisors and begins to strategize, determined to defend Wonderland and protect its people from the Dark Kingdom's invasion.
Wakanda forever! Wakanda forever!
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
After a period of reflection, Michael comes up with a plan to defend Wonderland against the Dark Kingdom. He realizes that in order to stop the invasion, he must first take the fight to the Dark Kingdom's main stronghold. With this in mind, he rallies a group of the bravest and ablest creatures of Wonderland, and together they set off towards the north.
All right. So who is helping you in this battle? Is the Mad Hatter taking up arms?
Michael, determined to stop the Dark Kingdom's invasion, enlists the aid of creatures from all over Wonderland. The Mad Hatter, once a source of whimsical nonsense, joins the cause, putting his strange creativity to use in the fight against the Dark Kingdom.
All right. The Mad Hatter has a dark secret. The Mad Hatter, when he gets too mad, he starts to lose control and becomes something different, something more primal and unhinged.
The Mad Hatter, with his eccentric personality, hides a dark side. When he gets excessively angry, he transforms into a more primal and unhinged version of himself. In this state, the playful and harmless qualities of the Mad Hatter disappear, and he becomes a formidable force of chaos and destruction.
Now, when I said mad, I meant he goes ultra crazy. That type of crazy that he's mad, Mad Hatter.
The Mad Hatter, known for his quirky and eccentric behavior, has a darker side that only emerges when he's extremely angry. During these moments, his usual whimsical nature takes a much more intense and chaotic turn.
Okay, fine. We'll just go ahead and keep that. So the Mad Hatter's there. He's gonna help you out now. Tell me what happens next.
With his army of creatures and the Mad Hatter by his side, Michael sets out towards the Dark Kingdom stronghold in the north. They journey for several days, facing various challenges and obstacles along the way. The creatures, each with their own set of skills and strengths, work together to overcome each hurdle that stands in their path.
All right. What? You finally get to the battlefield. Tell me what these beings look like. The other army, your enemies. Tell me what they look like and why they're there in Wonderland. Already told, right? Yeah.
As Michael and his army arrive at the battlefield, they see the enemy forces of the Dark Kingdom waiting for them. The soldiers of the Dark Kingdom are a fearsome sight, clad in dark and ominous armor, their faces concealed by helmets and shields. Their very presence exudes an air of menace and malevolence. They are there, not just to conquer, but to bring darkness and despair to the peaceful land of Wonderland. Their loyalty is unwavering to their dark ruler, the Shadow.
All right, man. Start the battle. Tell me what's going to happen. Tell me what's happening.
With both sides positioned, the tension in the air is palpable. The creatures of Wonderland and the Dark Kingdom soldiers stand facing each other, ready for the battle to begin. The Mad Hatter, standing next to Michael, is visibly agitated, his eyes wild and his hands twitching as he struggles to contain his anger. Suddenly, Michael gives the signal, and the two armies charge forward, swords drawn, arrows flying, and magic crackling in the air.
All right, keep going.
As the two armies clash, the battlefield becomes a chaotic and brutal scene. Swords clash, arrows fly, and magic and physical force are used by both sides in a desperate attempt to take control of the fight. The creatures of Wonderland fight with all their might, determined to defend their land and their way of life. The Mad Hatter, struggling to control his anger, is a whirlwind of blades and chaos, cutting down Dark Kingdom soldiers with a frenzy that is both terrifying and awe-inspiring.
What was the name of the leader again?
The leader of the Dark Kingdom, the one known as the Shadow, stands at the center of the battlefield, observing the carnage with a cold and calculating gaze. He is a formidable figure, clad in black armor, a dark cape billowing behind him. His face is hidden by a dark helmet, his eyes the only visible part of his face, cold and emotionless like a predator stalking its prey.
There's something familiar about this about this person.
As Michael fights off the Dark Kingdom soldiers, he can't shake the feeling that there's something familiar about this mysterious figure known only as the Shadow. The way he moves, the way he commands his troops, it all seems eerily familiar to Michael. He tries to push the thought aside and focus on the battle, but the feeling continues to nag at him, like a distant memory trying to claw its way into his consciousness.
Perfect. All right, go ahead and leave that in the back of your mind for now, but let it keep bugging you. Tell me what the battle's looking like and what these enemies that are coming at you look like, and what they're trying to do and what you do.
As the battle rages on, the creatures and soldiers from the Dark Kingdom throw everything they have at their enemies, trying to gain an advantage. While some of the enemies are fearsome and powerful, others are smaller and more agile, darting between the battlefield, seeking to flank their adversaries. Meanwhile, the Mad Hatter, still struggling to control his anger, becomes a blur of blades and chaos, his movements almost too quick to follow, and he cuts down enemy soldiers with a ferocity that is both terrifying and awe-inspiring.
Keep going.
The fight continues, the dark forces of the Dark Kingdom still outnumbering and outmaneuvering the creatures of Wonderland. Michael, fighting tooth and nail against the onslaught, looks around in desperation. The creatures around him are fatigued, and many of them are injured. The tide of the battle seems to be turning in favor of the Dark Kingdom.
Oh no. Tell me what happens next.
The situation on the battlefield grows increasingly desperate. The number of casualties on the side of the creatures of Wonderland is growing, and the creatures are starting to despair. Michael, sensing that the battle is turning against them, rallies his remaining forces, urging them not to lose hope. He knows that he has to think of something fast, or they will be overrun by the Dark Kingdom's army.
All right. You then channel the power that you use to defeat the Queen's deck of cards, and you are able to dispatch the rest of the army, even though you're about to lose the battle.
Michael realizes that he has to take drastic measures to turn the tide of the battle. Remembering the power he discovered when he was facing the Queen and her army of card soldiers, he closes his eyes and concentrates. With a deep breath, he channels that same power, feeling it flow through his body and his mind once again. The creatures and soldiers of the Dark Kingdom look on in confusion and surprise as Michael's figure begins to glow with an intense light.
Keep going.
Michael's eyes open and they glow with the light of the power he is channeling. He extends a hand and a deck of cards appears in his palm. The creatures and soldiers of the Dark Kingdom watch in disbelief as Michael begins to throw the cards, their power and magic manifesting in ways they have never seen before.
Oh wow, keep going.
The cards, infused with Michael's power, fly through the air with purpose and accuracy, cutting down the soldiers of the Dark Kingdom's army like a hurricane of magical death. The creatures of Wonderland, reinvigorated by this display of power, fight with renewed vigor and courage, inspired by their leader's display of magic and strength.
Oh wow. Keep going.
As the battle continues, Michael, wielding the power of the cards, becomes a force to be reckoned with. The cards seem to move with a mind of their own, hitting their targets with incredible precision. The soldiers of the Dark Kingdom, caught off guard by this unexpected display of power, are quickly overrun and defeated. The battle, which seemed like a certain defeat for the creatures of Wonderland, quickly turns in their favor.
All right. As you are about to win, tell me what happens. You're about to win, and the things are starting to go your way. But before you finish the battle, and it seems like you won the whole thing, the Shadow steps into the ring.
As the creatures and soldiers of the Dark Kingdom fall one by one, it seems like victory is within their grasp. Michael, caught up in the moment, is prepared to declare victory when suddenly the figure known as the Shadow steps into the battlefield.
As you see the Shadow walk down, you start to notice the certain way that he moves. It's still very familiar, and it's itching and it's bugging you because you know who this is, but you don't know. But then it hits you. It's none other than Prince.
As the figure known as the Shadow steps into the battlefield, Michael's eyes widen in disbelief and horror as he recognizes the familiar figure before him. Despite the dark armor and helmet concealing his identity, there's something in the way he moves, the set of his shoulders, the very essence of him that's completely recognizable to Michael. With a sickening realization, Michael gasps, "No, it can't be."
Keep going.
Michael's heart pounds in his chest as he gazes at the figure before him. As he watches the Shadow walk towards him, The realization crashes over him like a wave. It's Prince. Despite the armor that covers him, it's unmistakably Prince, the once friendly and innocent figure who had somehow become corrupted and turned against them.
All right. Prince takes off his helmet and he starts to go on a monologue. Tell me what he says.
As Prince stands before Michael, he removes his helmet, revealing his face for the first time. He looks at Michael with a cold, calculating gaze, the old Prince lost in the darkness of his corruption. His voice echoes across the battlefield, cold and menacing. Well, if it isn't my former friend, Michael Jackson. I never thought I'd see you again.
Oh, man. Keep going. What's happening?
Prince, his cold glare fixated on Michael, continues to speak. You thought you could defeat me and my army so easily? You thought your little tricks and spells could stop me? You're more foolish than I thought.
Oh, no. Now what happened?
Michael, his confidence faltering in the face of his former friend's unexpected betrayal, tries to keep his composure. What happened to you, Prince? You were never like this. You were kind, gentle, innocent. What made you turn into this monster?
Go ahead and tell me what he says. Go on a full evil monologue. Anime level evil monologue.
Prince sneers, a sadistic smile spreading across his face.
Oh
you want to know what changed me?
Hell
You
yeah.
want to know what turned me into this monster, as you put it? It was you, Michael.
Ooh.
You and your selfishness, your ego, your need to control everything and everyone around you. Your very presence made me what I am today.
All right, keep going.
Prince continues, his tone cold and harsh. You think you're a hero, don't you? But you're just a selfish, arrogant child, playing at being a king. You care more about your own glory than about the people who follow you. You don't deserve your power, your throne, any of it. You've never cared about anyone but yourself.
Oh, man. All right, keep going. Tell me what's happening. Tell me what he chooses to do next.
Prince takes a step closer to Michael, the air around him almost crackling with malevolence. It's time for me to take back what's rightfully mine. I'm gonna destroy you, Michael, and everything you've built. I'm going to tear down your kingdom and make sure you and your wretched creatures never forget my name.
Tell me if he's doing the ad-libs that he usually does for his songs.
Prince, with a cruel edge to his voice, continues his monologue, punctuating his words with dramatic flourishes and intense facial expressions, reminiscent of his ad-libs in his songs. You have no idea what I am capable of. The things I will do to you, the pain I will inflict on you, you cannot even begin to imagine.
Oh, man. Keep going.
Prince, fueled by his anger and malice, continues with an almost mocking tone to his voice. You thought you were powerful? You thought you could stop me? You're nothing. A mere puppet in my hands. A bug to be squashed beneath my boot. I am Prince the Shadow, and you will bow down before me.
Oh, man. All right, Michael. You make the first move. What are you going to do?
I am Iron Man.
Michael, his heart heavy with the realization of what his former friend has become, takes a deep breath and draws his sword, preparing to fight. Despite the pain in his heart, he knows that he has no other choice but to confront Prince. I don't want to do this, Prince. You don't have to do this. You can still come back from this. I know you're still in there. The real you that I knew and cared for.
Oh, man. What happens next?
Prince sneers in response, his eyes cold and heartless. You still don't get it, do you? There is no more real me. I've embraced the darkness, the power that you could never understand. And now I will show you just how weak you really are. With a swift movement, Prince unsheathes his own sword, its blade gleaming with a sinister light.
Oh man, what happens next?
Michael tightens his grip on his own sword, steeling himself for the fight ahead. The air around them is heavy with tension, like the calm before the storm. If that's what you want, then fine. I'll fight you. I'll do whatever it takes to stop you, to bring back the friend I once knew.
All right, you throw the first punch or kick. What is it? What's it going to be?
Michael steps forward, his eyes locked on Prince, and without warning, he launches the first move, throwing a swift punch meant to catch Prince off guard.
What happens?
Prince, quick and agile, dodges the punch, moving to the side with a grace and speed that belies his slender frame.
Oh my god. So he's super fast. He's faster than you?
Michael's eyes widen in surprise at Prince's unexpected speed. He had underestimated how much Prince's anger and Dark Kingdom influence had changed him. Yeah, it seems like he's really fast. A lot faster than I anticipated.
Oh no. So what's going to happen now? This is a pretty interesting story so far.
Michael, regrouping after his failed attack, realizes he needs a new strategy. Okay, he's fast, but I'm smarter than him. I just need to find a way to catch him off guard or use his speed against him.
All right. So think of a plan. What's it going to be?
Michael, his mind racing to come up with a plan, takes a moment to assess the situation. He notices that while Prince is incredibly fast, he seems to rely heavily on his agility and reflexes, perhaps to the point where he might overlook other potential weaknesses. Okay, I have an idea. If he's so fast, he might not expect a more defensive approach. If I can just keep him off balance, I might be able to find an opening and take him down.
All right. You quickly think of the plan that you go with, and you see the opening, and now's your chance. Go for it.
Michael, his mind focused on his plan, spots an opportunity and takes it. He feints a strike, drawing Prince's attention and causing him to dodge in response. But instead of following through with the strike, he quickly shifts his weight and pivots, his sword aiming for a vulnerable spot in Prince's defense.
Oh man, what's next?
Prince, caught off guard by the feint, tries to readjust his stance, but it's too late. Michael's sword finds its target, landing a solid blow against Prince's arm.
Keep going until I interrupt. I wonder if that works.
Michael, seeing that his strategy is working, continues his attack. He presses the advantage, his sword moving with a fluid grace, each blow more precise and powerful than the last. Prince, disoriented by the flurry of attacks, struggles to keep up and defend himself.
Keep going until I interrupt you.
Michael, building momentum, keeps up the pressure. His sword strikes become a blur of movement, fast and precise, pushing Prince to his limits. Despite Prince's speed and agility, the sheer power and ferocity of Michael's attacks are slowly overwhelming him.
Oh man, keep going.
Each blow from Michael seems to find its mark, leaving Prince no time to regroup or recover. Frustration and anger begin to cloud his judgment, making him careless and sloppy. This, in turn, only makes it easier for Michael to press the advantage and wear him down.
All right, go for it.
Michael, sensing Prince's growing desperation and weakening defenses, sees his chance. With one last powerful blow, he throws his full weight into a final attack, aiming for a critical spot on Prince's body.
You take the shot, and you're able to land this blow.
Michael's sword strikes its target, and a sickening snap is heard as Prince grunts in pain.
What happens next?
Prince, clutching his wounded arm, stumbles backwards, a mix of pain and shock on his face. The tables have turned, and for the first time, the situation seems to have turned in Michael's favor.
All right. Go ahead and finish the fight and land the blow that will end this story.
Seeing Prince wounded and vulnerable, Michael takes the opportunity to deliver the final blow. With a swift, decisive move, he raises his sword, his eyes unwavering and full of determination. With one final, powerful strike, he brings his sword down, and Prince falls to the ground, his body lifeless.
All right, go ahead and finish the story.
Michael, breathing heavily from the intense battle, surveys the battlefield. The silence is deafening as the creatures and soldiers of the Dark Kingdom watch with a mix of relief and disbelief. He looks down at Prince's lifeless body, a wave of sadness washing over him as he realizes the depth of the darkness that had consumed his former friend.
Victory!
As the realization of what has happened slowly sinks in, a heavy silence hangs in the air, broken only by the soft whispers of the creatures and soldiers surrounding him.
They all erupt in joy because they have successfully defended Wonder. But you're still somber because of what happened.
As the creatures and soldiers cheer in celebration, their victorious cries fill the air. However, Michael stands amidst the commotion, his face somber and his mind heavy. He cannot find joy in this victory when his former friend lies lifeless on the ground.
Oh man, what an epic tale. I want to thank you, Michael, for giving us a good story here. What do you want to tell the people on the stream that were listening to the story that you were weaving?
Michael smiles, appreciating the praise. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the story. I want to tell the people watching that I poured my heart into crafting that tale. It was a joy to delve into a world of magic, creatures, and heroes. I hope it entertained and maybe even inspired your own imagination.
Hell yeah. All right, let's go ahead and look for one last go here, because I think I'm still battling this guy, and this is going to be my last. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman sounds bored. That's the only reason why I haven't used Morgan Freeman. He sounds bored. Dark Hawk. But yeah, let's go ahead and show you guys what he sounds like. Unfortunately, they all kind of sound. Hey, Morgan Freeman, how are you doing today?
I am doing well, thank you for asking. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Now, you look to your left and you see a mirror.
Looks to the left and sees a mirror.
In that mirror, you see no reflection, but a portal, like a doorway, if you will.
Rubs eyes, thinking I'm seeing things.
What are you gonna do?
Walks closer to the mirror, hesitant, wondering if it's real.
All right, so what are you gonna do?
Places my hand toward the portal, cautiously checking if it's tangible.
You put your hand through it, and it's tangible, and you're able to go through it. Are you gonna go through it?
Looks back to see if anyone is around. Seeing that I'm alone, I step through, curious about what lies beyond.
You go ahead and step through this portal, and you're magically transported to ...
Suddenly, I find myself in a completely different place, filled with confusion and awe. Where am I?
I'll tell you, you are in the land.
Power must be controlled.
Neverland.
I look around, taking in the new surroundings in disbelief. Neverland? As in Peter Pan's Neverland?
Damn. Yeah. Oh, I won that one. Fuck yeah.
I chuckled, realizing the unique situation I found myself in. So, I'm in Neverland, and how did I get here?
You passed through the portal.
Looks back at the doorway. Ah, so the portal led to this place. It's rather magical, I must say.
All right, scratch that. Let's not send you to Neverland. I'm trying to think of something funny. Let's send you somewhere funny. Somewhere. Oh my fucking god! You know where you're going? You're gonna go to the land of Attack on Titan.
I raise an eyebrow, surprised by the sudden change of setting. Attack on Titan, huh? Interesting. All right, let's see where this adventure takes me.
All right, as you step through the portal, you're in the land of Attack on Titan, and you're in the middle of the Titans attacking the city. Tell me what you're gonna do.
Stands rooted in place as I take in the chaos around me. Titans wreaking havoc on the city. I realize I have to act fast. I need to find cover fast.
All right, tell me, what are you seeing? What did these Titans look like?
I quickly glance around, trying to get a clear look at the Titans. They're colossal creatures, towering over the buildings and completely wrecking them. Their features are grotesque, with sharp teeth and a wild, feral look in their eyes. It's terrifying.
Oh man, keep going. What's happening next?
I continue observing the scene unfolding before me. People are running for their lives, scrambling to get away from the Titans. Soldiers are trying their best to fight back, but the Titans are a force to be reckoned with. The ground is shaking from the heavy footsteps of the colossal Titans.
Oh man, keep going. What's happening? Are there anyone trying to take down these Titans?
I watch as a group of soldiers attempts to take down a Titan. There are soldiers bravely fighting off the Titans. They're using their gear to maneuver around the creatures and attack their weak spots. It's a perilous battle, but they're giving it their all.
You see someone's gear fall to the ground, and you pick it up. What are you gonna do?
I notice the fallen gear on the ground and instinctively pick it up. I'll need this to have any chance of survival or even attempting to do something about the Titans. It'll allow me to maneuver more efficiently and reach the Titans' weak spots.
That's great. Keep going.
Doom rules all.
As I secure the gear on myself, I hear a loud roar nearby. Sounds like there's a Titan approaching my position. I need to act quickly.
All right, put on the gear, and you instinctively know what to do. Tell me what your first moves are.
I adjust the gear and with newfound confidence, take a deep breath. My first move will be to use the gear to propel myself up onto the rooftop of a nearby building. This will give me some height and a chance to survey the area and plan my next move.
All right, so what's your next move?
I look around, trying to assess the situation from the rooftop. The city's ruined, and the Titans are still rampaging through the streets. I need to figure out a way to help the survivors, and maybe even contribute to bringing down these Titans.
All right, you are flying through the air, really surprisingly good at taking down Titans. Tell me what it's looking like, and tell me what your moves are, what you're doing.
I skillfully maneuver through the air, zooming past buildings and Titans. It's a chaotic scene below me, with Titans wreaking havoc and causing destruction. I use the gear's precision to slice at the Titan's nape, aiming for their weak spot. With each strike, I feel a mix of determination and adrenaline as I try to take them down.
You are successfully taking down Titans left and right. Tell me what you're feeling. Tell me how it's looking.
I continue to skillfully take down more Titans. I'm feeling a mixture of excitement and a sense of duty. With each successful strike, I feel a rush of adrenaline, knowing that I'm making a difference in this terrible situation. The city is still being torn apart by the Titans, but with each one that falls, the odds feel like they're tilting slightly in our favor.
Nice. Tell me what else happens.
As the battle rages on, I keep taking down Titans, but it seems like they keep coming. Despite my efforts, the onslaught of Titans doesn't seem to be abating. The city is still a chaotic mess, with survivors struggling to find refuge and soldiers continuing to fight valiantly. I start to question if there's an end to this nightmarish ordeal.
Let's go ahead and have you meet up with Armin, Erwin, and Mikasa, and all of those cool characters.
I pause, taking in this unexpected development. Wait, I get to meet Armin, Erwin, and Mikasa? This is getting interesting.
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Go ahead. Add those characters in there.
Opponent snapped.
I smile, excitedly envisioning the scene. All right, I'm approaching Armin, Erwin, and Mikasa. They're strategizing and planning their next move. I catch their attention, and they're surprised but cautiously welcoming.
Awesome. What happens next?
I exchange greetings with Armin, Erwin, and Mikasa. They look at me, curious about who I am and what my skills can bring to the table.
Nice. What are you gonna do now?
I explain my skills with the gear and my ability to take down Titans. They seem impressed, and we start brainstorming on how I can contribute to their mission.
Nice. So you go ahead and formulate a plan to take out the group of Titans that are still left in the city. You go ahead and go through the plan and tell me what it's looking like and what happened.
I contribute to the planning, suggesting a coordinated attack to take out the remaining Titans in the city. We strategize where and how to strike, considering the terrain and the number of Titans left. The plan involves a combination of teamwork, utilizing our individual skills, and exploiting the Titans' weak points. We're aware that the task won't be easy, but we're determined to see it through. We prepare to execute the plan, and the air is heavy with anticipation.
Go ahead and execute the plan.
We put our plan into action, launching our coordinated attack on the remaining Titans in the city. We move with precision and confidence, working together to bring down the Titans one by one. The scene is intense, with the teamwork and skill of our group being put to the test. Despite the risk, we push forward, adrenaline fueling our efforts.
Go ahead and tell me what's going on, what's happening in this plan while you're doing it.
As we execute the plan, the atmosphere is charged with tension and determination. We move seamlessly as a team, each of us aware of our roles and responsibilities. The sound of our gear slashing through the air and connecting with the Titans is like a well-orchestrated symphony. The feeling of working together, knowing that we are making a difference and potentially turning the tide of the battle, is exhilarating.
All right, tell me what's going on now.
In the midst of the execution, adrenaline is high and the group is focused. We encounter minor setbacks but adapt on the fly, adjusting our strategy to overcome any challenges. Communication is key, and we rely on each other to stay informed and react to changing circumstances. The risk is still high, but the sense of purpose keeps us pushing forward, determined to see the plan through to the end.
All right, now that you have succeeded in this plan, tell me, what is your next move?
After successfully executing the plan, we take a moment to catch our breath and assess the situation. We've managed to take out the remaining Titans in the city, but we're aware that there may be more threats lurking. We regroup, check on any injuries, and start discussing our next steps. The sense of accomplishment is tangible, but we're also aware that the battle is far from over.
All right, you fall through another portal, and now you're somewhere else.
We celebrate our success, but before we can continue, I suddenly stumble and fall through another portal. Everything around me blurs and changes as I find myself transported to a new place, the chaos of the previous scene fading away.
All right. You are back where you were in the where you first started in the office. How are you feeling?
I find myself back in the office, still processing the previous experience. I take a moment to collect my thoughts before responding. That was intense. It felt so real, like I was truly transported to another world. I still can't believe I got to meet and fight alongside characters like Armin, Erwin, and Mikasa. And the way we strategized, took down Titans together, it was like we were a real team.
Hell yeah. What do you want to tell the people that joined you on the stream, on the story that were listening on the stream?
To the viewers, I want to say thank you for joining me on this wild adventure. It was an unexpected and thrilling ride, full of excitement, danger, and suspense. Though it was all imaginary, the emotions and sense of adventure we felt together was real. And to those who are listening, I encourage you to never give up on your dreams and to embrace the unexpected. Life is full of surprises, and sometimes the most improbable experiences can turn out to be the most rewarding.
All right. I want to thank everyone for tuning in on the podcast, on the stream today. I'm going to try not to make this a thing. I'm just having too much fun with this AI thing. I find myself having the most fun with Steve Harvey because his voice sounds panicked. Like you can tell the panic in his voice, and it's fun to like freak him out. But a couple of new ones that I touched on today that I was like, all right, that should be fun to do. Michael Jackson's always fun to mess around with on the AI character AI. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying it. I want to thank everyone who tuned in. I want to thank BH for tuning in and following us on the stream. Before we do that, we have to feed the cat. One thing is, oh no, that's right, I don't have the treats. Until the next time, I will have to give them treats on the next time because I need to go get them food and treats. Spoiled cats that I have here. I owe you guys a cat sighting. Until the next time, be good to yourself and others. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye. Bye 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 bye.
Hello, Gato. Some time with Gato-chan. Mao.
I haven't seen movies since I was 6 years old, so I don't
Same.
remember